Hello, just doing a quick video here on polishing my 2012 Harley Davidson Switchback 103 up in Canada here, and quite often there's salt on the road or some sort of sodium stuff that is used to clear off the ice off the road. And even if you ride your bike when it's dry and it's not wet salt on the road, you get some sodium into your parts that you can't reach and other parts, and it starts to corrode and kind of lose your nice aluminum polish. This bike's from Edmonton. You can see it there on the decal. I have to get off. And it got pretty bad corrosion on a few parts. Just on the front here, the front forks. Just let the camera focus here. You can see the pitting there by the reflector. So I'll have to use 000 steel wool on that section with some cut wax, and then go to brass or some sort of metal polish, and then lighter cut wax, and then wax them to get that out. The valve cover here, you can see the corrosion on there. No shine left at all. You just barely see the reflection of the lights in it. So I had to remove the tank to get at that, to clean that up. I could take them off, but really you'll only see about this much of the valve cover with the tank on, so I'm just gonna get them best I can with them on and not buy new gaskets and all that stuff. The primary cover, pretty bad as well. It's got some kind of more of a staining. There's no real pitting or etching in here or corrosion, but this has a dull stain to it, so I have to clean that up. I did clean up one section right here on the primary cover, right over here. That's come up pretty good, just on the top, this one little patch right here. So for the primary cover that didn't have a whole bunch of corrosion, just had more staining, I just used the Brasso and then McGuire's Ultimate Compound, just kind of a light cut wax, and then just straight up wax with Carnauba. And then to get the rest of the primary cover, I'm gonna have to go ahead and get the floorboards off. They take a Torx 45 in here and here, and then up front, there and there. And I've been using my impact driver, but they're in there so good the Torx bit broke. So I ground it down a bit and tried to get the rest. So I got them all but one. So they're in there really good. So kind of be aware of that. If you're going to take off your floorboards, get ready to kind of have maybe a second Torx 45 or whatever you have to do to get them off. They don't just kind of come off very easily. Then I also did my belt guard here. See, it has this kind of staining on the chrome even. And then it doesn't wipe off by hand or with a rag or whatever. So I use, and that's the section that I did. And I did that with just the McGuire's and a drill with a buffer pad on it. And that came out perfect. That was easy. That was just, 5 seconds, just, and it comes out, just right. So I'll do all the chrome, all the shocks and everything, and get them all kind of polished up, ready for next summer. The rear tire, it's really bad. It's corroded and pitted right up in there, and it doesn't wipe off. Like, it's pretty serious. So I did one section, and what I did there was, let's see, right here, so I can get it. Yeah, this section right here, very smooth, shines back, the mirror finish is back, and it comes out no problem. So in the one section I spent a couple minutes. I started out with 000 steel wool, And just put some polishing compound on that to kind of help polish and get the heavy pitting crap off, kind of to begin with. And after that, it turned out pretty good. It was like a flat aluminum, but it looked very clean and actually not bad. But then I used a little bit more Brasso. This Brasso has acid in it. You can smell it when you use it. It kind of cuts pretty good. I thought the Brasso would be more aggressive than this, but this is more aggressive than that. So I use that to the next step. Then got the drill out, and I used a little bit of this on it with the drill. And then to finally drill again, I used some finishing wax, and I got that one section done, which is pretty good. But I have to do all the rim. To do that, I'm going to change out the tire anyway this winter, so I'll take the whole wheel off, because it's too hard to work around the belt drive and the brake disc on the other side. So let's take that off too. For pads, I just went to eBay. I bought a set. It comes with this chuck, and there's one pad. You see all the black coming off from the aluminum, and it came with all these pads here. So kind of a big assortment of pads. It's like $15. So I see you can buy them in stores. They're usually like $10 or $15 each. So I thought, what the heck, I'll just wait for them to come in from the Guangdong province in China, and then have a full set. And over here we have the horn bracket. It really got corroded badly, so I don't think I'm going to be able to save that one. So I'll probably just clean it up and paint it black. Kind of prefer that anyway. You can't barely see it. It's behind the chrome horn cover. Right there. And then once it's black, it'll just be easier to maintain and won't kind of corrode like that again. I got the tank off. Corrosion there again. So that's since 2012, so about 5 years of corrosion. So definitely had some sodium or something in there that kind of sped up the deterioration process. I'm gonna have to fix this gas cap. Someone thought it was a gas cap and it's loose, so I'll have to repair that. It'll stick in there, but I want to get it so it's kind of sitting there properly. The leather is not great. It had a couple of badges on it before I bought it, but they were taken off, so I put a couple more badges in there. There's a steel toe tour from the engine factory, and there's the museum in Milwaukee. That was an excellent museum, so definitely worthwhile if you're ever even close to Milwaukee. Drive there or do what you have to do to get to go see the museum. It's very good. And that leather patch is held on by the bezel for gauges at the bottom. Kind of creates that line there. And also has one bolt, but it's glued on too, so it doesn't kind of pop off and switch them out. You gotta really want to change it out to do it. I like this look better anyway. It's a bit road worn, and you know, similar like guitars and stuff like that. It kind of looks, you know, it's been around a little bit. And also, I don't want to worry about buying a brand new one and having it rain and, you know, get all panicky. Like with this one, I don't really care if it gets wet or has some abrasions or whatever. It doesn't really matter. And to get the tank off, there's a good video on YouTube by the Law-Abiding Biker. That channel anyway. And explain how to do it, because there's this one cross tube that'll kind of join both tanks so that fuel will reach the fuel outlet from both tanks, not just the one. And to basically do that, you undo the one factory clamp and get ready with a hose. Pull that off and stick a hose on right away and get that to your jerry can. And of course, sorry, before you do that, put a hose clamp on, something like that, and which will kind of isolate this side of the tank. So they let this side drain out with your hose to the jerry can. And then once that's drained out and the dripping stop, just get another hose with a fitting and jam it into the factory hose, and then undo your clamp. And the other side will drain into your jerry can. So it's not too bad to do, but it's a good video on YouTube if you want to check it out. It's well done. Okay, let's go on the other side. Polish all this chrome too. I'll take the rear pipe off. There's no baffling anymore, but get it out of the way anyway. And then that'll give me access to the pipes, and then I'll take the pipes off. I've got the nuts already loosened. I sprayed them with penetrating oil and have made sure that they loosen off no problem already. And there's the back, then here's the front. Kind of hard to see with this poor lighting. And there's the front there. So much chrome it, camera gets all messed up. Let's grab a light just a second. Yeah, so there's the back. It's a little hard to see even with the light. Tucked way up in as one. And same on the front. So I did that a couple weeks ago. The bike's been parked for a little while now, so planned ahead. I sprayed them with lubricant and they came off no problem. And then I had to get that kind of bracket off. So that's right by your cam cover. And then with that off, we have plenty of access to the cam cover to do some polishing and, you know, get it just right. Don't kind of miss any spots. And then same with the transmission cover. You can barely read the 6-speed on it anymore. It's all stained and doesn't look good at all. But the pipe's right in the way, so I'll get the pipes off and then give those a shot. I thought I'd have to remove them from the engine, but they're really not that bad, so I get pretty good access with the pipes off. There's the rear valve cover, and there you see the corrosion, some slight pitting maybe, but that should clean up no problem. There's the front. I did this side of the wheel in the summertime. I just couldn't stand it. But that was just that's just straight up wax and drill, a buffing pad on a drill, and it got it not bad. But I'll definitely go over that again with a full kind of all the steps. So a little bit of steel wool, cut wax, some Brasso, some more lighter cut wax, and then wax at the end. And then it should be, you know, mirror-like. All the chrome is good, so that'll polish up very easily. Just a few seconds, and it'll be, you know, flawless. You won't see any of the fine swirls or scratches in it. So I think that's about it for this, what I'm gonna do. So again, just if it's not pitted, personally what I found so far right here is just Brasso, cut wax, and wax. If it is pitted on your rear tire or wherever you have that's pitted, like that, that's really bad. It's time to get the steel wool, and then that'll clean it up, get all mirror-like just like that. So I think that's about it. If I saw a bike like this again, I think it's worthwhile to get them, because I got this one pretty cheap, I guess you'd call it, but it wasn't getting a lot of interest when it was up for sale because of all the aluminum being kind of oxidized and having a few pits and stuff. But I think one day of polishing on it, cleaning up, and it'll look good and kind of look just as good as the bike that hasn't been polished. So when I was at the Harley factory, I asked them if they coat their aluminum with anything. But as far as they know, it's just bare aluminum. So just the polish on the aluminum is the only thing that makes it kind of shine. That might change from year to year, but for what was there, this is 2017, and had all the Milwaukee 8s in there, and they had no coating on them that they knew of anyway. So eventually they'll have to be done, and it's not that bad to do, but it does take a few steps and some elbow grease to do it. Let's do a bit of a walk around. So here's the whole bike with a tank, fairing, bags, and some other panels and stuff off. So it's very easy to get to, easy to work on. You don't have to pull the battery to get guards off or loosen the starter to access some bolts or some crazy stuff like that, like on some bikes or machines. This one's all pretty straightforward. Haven't run across any metric hardware yet. It's all been Imperial so far, and very easy access. Tank comes off not too bad, and once the bags and windshield are off, it's kind of wide open. You can just get at pretty much everything. This I got it on the small jack here. Seems to be holding pretty good. I used this one in my Sportster, and then I put a couple straps on to hold it on just in case needed a bit extra, but it seems to be working pretty good. It's holding it easily. And there's the stuff. There's the saddlebags. I'll wax them too before they go back on, or once, probably, well, I'll do the insides before they go on, and then put them on and do the outsides. Same with the gauges, get them all cleaned up and everything like that. So not a big deal. A day, maybe two, and it'll be pretty much spotless and ready to go again. But also you don't have to really worry about it. You know, you can just kind of polish it out and use the bike in the rain or whatever, and not be so concerned. If you have a totally 100% mint bike, with this bike, you know, it looks good, but you can kind of be ridden without any hesitation or worrying about wrecking it. Okay, have a great day. Okay, bye.